And good evening. Thank you so much for coming out for the Darlington 200. Last night we were at Martinsville. A lot of high tempers towards the end of that thing. It was pretty clean most of the race, but obviously kind of ended in a less than optimal way. But hopefully the guys have cooled off and they're ready to drive the track tonight. Really a driver's track, so that should keep them preoccupied. In the booth with me tonight, I have Ryan Tafts and Billy Martin. How you guys doing tonight?
Well, I'm going to tell you what, you should be a politician, because for what you just said about last night's race, you were very, yeah, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it started pretty well. It was a lot of green flag racing early in the early stages. And I was pretty optimistic about how it was going to end, but just a couple questionable moves by some of the front runners kind of made it bad, left a bad taste in our mouth. But like I said, hopefully these guys will be too busy worrying about not hitting the wall tonight instead of hitting each other.
Yeah. Well, Ryan, you were race control last night. You were very busy. Why don't you tell us what you thought about last night's race?
Typical Martinsville event for us. Always gotta have at least 20 plus cautions. Always gotta have that beating and banging, nobody giving space. That's
a lot of impatience.
All I got for it. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So, well, we saw one guy last night pretty much dominate the race, and that was Mr. Sheets.
Yep.
And well, his night didn't end the way he wanted to, and I think I don't know what the deal is, but he's been running. When he runs out front, he doesn't get any respect, and people kick him around, and so I think he just kind of got sick and tired of that, and he just let a couple of guys that may have roughed him up a little bit, let them know he wasn't happy with them. But I don't see him in the field tonight, and there's a couple other guys that are missing in tonight's field. So
Sheets is here. He's here.
Is he Sheets? Where is he? I don't have him.
Right now, qualifying.
Yeah, just qualified P2 actually. Have a couple guys left to qualify, but I think we're all set, and the field should be gridding up here in just a second.
Right.
But currently, Nick Vasquez is on the pole with a 29.67. Caleb Sheets just behind him, 29.76. Then Carlisle starting third with a 29.84. So tight times at the top three there. And we should see the guys gridding up here in just a second. So 200-mile race. I think it's 200 miles.
Yeah, 200 miles. 147 laps.
Yep. So good amount of distance to cover tonight. Really just think it's going to be, they'll get spread out as long as they don't wreck each other going into one. Just because that can be kind of easy to do on starts and restarts here.
Yep.
They should be able to get spread out and really just be racing the track. But we'll just have to wait and see how this evening goes. I know some of the guys were pretty frustrated after yesterday, so hopefully they come ready to race and trying to put that behind them. But I mean, Martinsville brings out the worst in everybody, so
absolutely,
it's really, it would have been strange if something like that didn't happen. So
I'm surprised it only happened once.
Yeah.
And if Caleb Sheets is listening, I got a little bit of advice from him. Get behind Vasquez, and you two just try to walk away from this. Vasquez is very fast here. He's very good here. No need to race him for the first 100 laps. Just follow him and just do what he does. Get through the field during traffic and battle him at the end. Do not race him. I'm serious. If you're starting in those front two, and same thing with Carlisle and Cotter and Stoltz, just get in line and ride it out, settle it at the end. They want to separate. If those 5 cars can separate from the field at least 10 car lengths, then you're going to have 2 separate races on the track. The only problem is we have a lot of cautions here. So that's going to bunch them up a lot of times as well. However, we only have, 15 or less cars in that running tonight. So we shouldn't have too many cautions. The cream will rise to the top at the end of this thing. And if those 5 cars listen to me, they'll just walk away for the first 150 laps, and then it's on.
Yep.
Play it safe.
Exactly. And I think we're up to 17 tonight, so a little bit more, a couple more drivers than they had last night. Let's see. And it looks like they're gridding up now. Let me go ahead and run through those just real quick. So again, starting on the pole tonight, Nick Vasquez in the 22 machine. Caleb Sheets will be starting second. Steven Carlisle will be starting third. Caleb Carter fourth. Josh Stoltz fifth. Corey Mott sixth. Tyler Krozak seventh. Noah Hunt eighth. Zach Johnson in the 45 car will be starting 9th. Tyler, our winner last night, Tyler Bellinger will be starting 10th. Hunter Bogdan 11th. Michael Deitch 12th. Ted Lisby 13th. Joe Gibbons 14th. Jonathan Ledger 15th. Ryan Taft is not. You're not racing, Ryan, right? No, you're not.
Jim is 16th.
How is Jim starting behind you when you're not even racing?
It's how iRacing is.
Oh, okay.
I got a higher iRating than him, so he's gonna be put behind me.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Sorry.
Oh boy, I love it.
Don't mean to throw any shade there. This was funny.
It's just how iRacing is.
Yeah. Well, I should log on and join the race real quick right now. That'd be pretty funny. No practice. Haven't driven one of these cars on the track and then just joining the race. It happens a lot in iRacing. So this is a very difficult track, and if you master it, well, you're gonna be pretty safe tonight. Turns 1 and 2 are different than 3 and 4. You drive them differently, and your car handles differently through the corners. So it's difficult to get into a rhythm, but one guy that I think is going to do all right, we talk about him every race because he loves that high line, and that's Carlisle. Yep. So,
yeah,
and this. You have this to cut is his down kind of track
1 and
right
2,
here.
But 3-4, the high line's definitely in play, though. Normally not seen, and we already have some guys. I'm not sure what happened there.
Oh,
oh boy!
What happened? Disconnected. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's a
man.
clear sign of a wheel disconnection.
Oh man. Oh wow. That's horrible break for Stoltz. Oh man.
I mean, and
what kind of wheel does he have? Fanatec? Does he have a Fanatec? I used to have that happen to me a lot with the Fanatec wheel, and now I've moved over to the Moza and haven't had an issue with it.
Noah Hunt, our second place driver last night, has some damage. And then Hunter Bogdan also has some damage there.
Oh, man.
So does Joe Gibbons. So, unfortunate. I mean, you can't even say start of the night because the night hasn't really started yet, but a rough way to go on the outlap there. But I mean, long race. We'll see if they can come back from that. Pace car is off down pit lane, waiting for Nick Vasquez to get the race kicked off here. Barney should be waving that green flag any second. And we're green here at Darlington Raceway. Nick Vasquez out front, jumping to the high line there for a good entry through 1 and 2 side by side. from
Yep.
second on back to about 6. Able to make it through there
Yeah.
just fine. Everyone is still rolling.
Hey,
You got
drop
one
it.
guy blinking out for just a second. But Nick Vasquez already way out, and caution. Oh, caution is out.
I hit the wrong button.
Oh, you fat finger it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh man, that's tough.
so phantom debris caution on lap 1.
Somebody threw a water bottle out the window.
At least some of these guys will get some of their damage fixed now, right?
Yeah, there you go.
From the way it looked, it wasn't too much hard contact, but yeah, I'll let him get some damage repaired. I was gonna make it.
That's why I'm up here in the booth and not doing race control, because I do not want that job ever as race control. I just do not want it. But you know what though? This is kind of a good idea to have a caution right now anyways, just to give these guys
Oh man. Yeah,
give these guys a chance, I mean, they had such a horrible break, and you know what? There's only 17 cars or 16 cars, so it'll give them time to take care of it.
Look at that front splitter on Stoltz. That right side there is way
Yeah.
pushed up.
Glad he was able to get back going again.
It's got a little bit of right front damage.
Yeah. He feels awful. I mean, it's just one of those things that happens.
Yeah, and I can hear it in his voice.
Is it confirmed that's what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you could tell when he was going into turn 3, instead of the car turning for him, it just went straight.
Yeah, just see you later.
Yeah, and that's a clear sign that the wheel is like, nope, not today.
Yeah, that happened to me one time in the truck series at North Wilkesboro. I had started in about 15th or 16th position, worked my way up to 6th, and wouldn't you know it, under caution, going around, car just turns right into the inside fence. I was like, what the heck?
So
It's such a
wheelbase
thinking feeling.
that turns off?
Yeah, I had the fan attack, and what would happen is when you connect your wheel, you have to have the shaft put in, and you tighten a clamp down. And well, sometimes, it gets loose and it gets just a little disconnected, and that's it. And yeah, it was tough pill to swallow. Don't have that problem anymore with the Moza. And both systems have their positives and their negatives, so
Yep.
I'm not endorsing either one.
Right. Oh.
Yeah, pace car is in. Let's try this again.
Yep, pace car is off. 22 car on the outside there of Nick Vasquez. Actually, the leader of this race coming to green, so he'll be restarting on the outside. Great jump by him.
Ooh.
Keep an eye on these guys behind him, see if they can get it sorted through turns 1 and 2.
Sheets did not get a good jump on that, and we saw last night he never missed a restart. He was unbelievable, and I don't know if he spun his tires or what, but the 48 car right now is just trying to push him past Carlisle, and we said Carlisle was probably going to run that high line, and already you see him right up near the wall. And it takes nerves of steel to run that high anyways, but even more at this track.
Yeah,
there's just something about Darlington that is even more. It is such an intimidating track, even on iRacing. And these guys were actually running some pretty good laps right now. Kind of surprised. We never did get one car ready to get a Darlington stripe right there. We never did. What was the track temp when we started this thing?
I'm not.
Uh,
I'm not sure.
Track temp right now is
Oh, we have a car on the wall, and he actually gets spun around the 4 car trying to collect it. Caleb Carter got up into the
Nice
wall, and
save.
Bellinger had nowhere to go. Yep, nice save. Able to keep it rolling there.
What a save by him on that. That, thank God for that, big long infield there. It's all paved. It kind of slows the cars down. If that was grass, his race would have been over.
the track temp currently is 110. So
Yeah, that's nice and slick out there. So 110. So we're going to keep an eye on that, see how it works out through the race. Now, I'm going to expect once these cars get a little bit sorted out that we're going to have a long green flag run. And I don't know if we'll get to green pit stops this early, maybe the last stage. But if once that track gets super hot, these cars are going to be sliding everywhere, and they're going to want the track to cool off. And I don't know if we're going to get into nighttime tonight. It's going to stay daytime this whole entire race, isn't it?
we should.
I don't know what
Yep,
the race.
yep, I
Yeah,
believe so.
The race time is currently 3:11. So
yeah, 3-0. So it might cool down a little bit, but not as much as these guys are going to hope that it does. It's going to be a slick track on top of it being a difficult track to drive already. And the 35, this one guy, Hunt, you saw him earlier have all that damage to the front of his car when Stoltz disconnected, and looks like he may have been able to get it taken care of. So that's good news for him. We'll keep an eye on him. He's working his way up the 10th spot right now. In front of him is Michael Deitch, 9th. In front of him is Bogdan. Mott has moved up to 7th spot. Ballinger, last night's winner somehow. He even said it. He even said it, and then you have the 45 and Johnson in front. Johnson was fast last night as well, and, he had a tough night. Crosscheck was very fast. Vasquez was fast. Vasquez got bumped around a bunch of times. I do not see the 24 car tonight. And the 24 car last night was very fast as well, and then had some issues and got sent to the back, and it seemed like he just got collected and everything.
Yeah, it's spreading out just a bit. Nick Vasquez pulling out about a second lead on the field. Behind him, Stephen Carlisle. Stephen Carlisle actually moved up 1 spot from the start, from that restart there, so he was able to get around. It seemed like also Caleb Sheets was smart and let a couple guys by. Just didn't have the pace, and with these long green flag runs, sometimes you just let them by and then hope they burn their stuff off, and you can reel them back in. But just
that's exactly what I think happened. You nailed it right on the head there. I mean, he just let them by, and there was no confrontation whatsoever, and it seemed as if he was just saving. And I mean, you're an experienced driver, you'd do the same thing. So great move by him that early. And there is Corey Mott, software support specialist. Wouldn't be surprised if he's an OnlyFans model. Look at the hair on him. Wish I had that hair. Oh, man. When everybody sees me in Charlotte, they'll understand why I'm jealous of that hair.
Yeah, it did look like Bellinger actually had a little bit of damage to that front right side when Caleb Carter got up into the wall and came down on him just a bit. So he might be suffering a tiny bit. And sometimes this damage, it doesn't really show its teeth until you put laps down on it, and it affects your grip, affects your wear. So some of these guys with that damage might be falling back the more green laps that we put down.
that also affects your aero.
Yep, exactly.
Big time, yep. And this is a track where you see one car there touching the wall, and that's one thing about the walls here. They seem to come out and grab you. You get sucked right into them. And it's why so many people dislike this track. It is an extremely difficult track, and you come from Martinsville, which is more than half the size. It's a quarter of the size of this place. It's actually an eighth the size of this place. And no, I had it right a quarter. Anyways, you go to that track, short track, very difficult to drive. Then you come to this big track, and finally you have big straightaways, plenty of room to race. However, it's another extremely difficult track with only one lane to race in. So it's a tough schedule that these guys have been running lately.
Yeah, these 2 different tracks a week to get this season ramped up definitely is a quick turnaround. So once we're caught up with NASCAR schedule, we'll just go back to the 1 race a week. But for now, these guys have overtime working 2 nights a week to get caught up. What do we got next week? So what, Monday?
Not sure.
It would be Bristol Dega, I believe.
Dega.
Okay. Bristol. Now, Mr. Taft, you definitely need to be in the booth for Talladega because I will be on the track.
You will.
I will be racing at Dega.
What happened to Bellinger?
Let's see.
This is I wonder if he hit the wall or.
Yeah, I just went straight on him off of 2 and pulled his right front.
Yeah,
Guaranteed that right front is broke.
He already had some damage from that car getting into him, but yeah, it looks like he has even more now.
A tough break for him, but you know what? He doesn't really care that much because he's locked in, and from what I remember, he wasn't too fond of tonight's track, was he?
No, not many people are.
Yeah, so uh-oh. What's gonna happen in here? Hang on 1 second.
Oh, Tyler, I guess that's Tyler Bellinger. He's requesting to join the booth. Let me see if I can get him in here. Yo, Bellinger, what's up?
I just wanted to explain what happened there. First of all, you're exactly right on the broadcast. I don't give a shit. I hate that track anyways. But it doesn't really help when somebody supposedly has a wheel disconnect. That's what I'd say too if that's what happened to me in front of everybody. And we all get ass packed because we're going to wreck before we even take a damn green flag.
Yep.
And then Caleb in front of me smacked the wall when I was right behind him, and that killed my right front. The car was just junk after that. And this race is going to go green most of the way. It is. You can tell the cars get spread out real good. It's a really difficult track to drive, and a lot of people bouncing off walls. So when I got a little tight out of that turn, I'm like, you know what? If I just go up and smack this wall and finish it off, who cares?
Yeah, we saw Caleb get loose, or he smacked the wall and then came down on you. So figured you probably still had some.
I don't know what it looked like in the broadcast, how much damage it was really showing, but it like instantly, I lost like half a second. The car wouldn't turn, and the longer you go in those runs, anyways, the car don't want to turn as it is. So then you add all that damage, and I was like, all right, we're gonna call it an early night. I'm only racing for wins at this point, anyways.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm gonna get some sleep. So y'all enjoy your night.
All right. Yep. You too.
We'll see you, bud. He's always so reserved when you interview him.
Yeah, I mean, he had a tough break there with Caleb, and then
he doesn't.
I understand what he's saying as far as having to sit in the pits, get it fixed, and this thing just going green. Yeah. So it's tough. It's tough to feel motivated to keep going after you just won a race too. So
yeah, I just heard a bear crack. He was hoping to crash out of this race early. He won last night.
Oh.
He's locked in. No benefit for him. He was looking for a reason. So enjoy that cold one, buddy. You did a great job last night. But so far tonight it's been all Vasquez, and we saw him win this race earlier this year, and he did it in a big fashion. Last year, excuse me, he came out here and dominated the first couple of races, the super speedways, and came into this track, and he was out front all night, very fast, and he ended up winning this race by a mile. However, he was in a Ford Mustang then, and different team, different car, same sponsor, same number, but doesn't seem as if it bothers him so far because he is flying. And Carlisle's right behind him, but Carlisle doesn't seem to be really worried about catching him right now.
Yeah, he's been putting down good laps behind Nick. Has kind of reeled him back from a second to now about 0.4 seconds. So making great progress. And with about 15 laps to go in this first stage, we'll see if he can finish his job and get the 22 car behind him. But yeah, seems content, seems happy with where he is, and just gonna save his stuff, keep it out of the wall, and have the car ready for the end of this thing. And I did see Tyler Kralzak go down pit lane. I'm not 100% sure what the play is here. The pit under green. I don't know if he had some damage or something. The car looked fine, so not 100% sure what that was about.
I guess probably flipped the stage, but that's just me.
Yeah, you know, flipping the stage you want to do under a yellow flag, not under a green flag, but
yeah, you can get away with under green at road courses and stuff like that, but any oval, it's puts you lap down.
Yeah, and also Joe Gibbons in the A car, he's 4 laps down, so I don't know if we missed something or what, but it seems like maybe a couple of guys might have gotten together or had a wreck.
Joe had heavy damage from that first
the first incident.
lap. Yeah.
All right. He's had a rough couple of nights.
Yep.
Ballinger, he's gonna end up right next to Ryan Taft. He's still officially in the pits, hasn't left the session yet. We'll see what happens. He probably forgot when he was opening up that cold bear. Sheets is actually starting to reel in these two up front. So he was about 2.5 seconds not that long ago, and he's reeling it in under 2 seconds now. Here's a battle here between the 44
and the 57 of Beach.
And the 57 of Beach. Yeah, man, I saw Deitch going up high there. I got a little nervous, but came off the corner a little bit squirrely, but he's going to be able to stay out front. And that's the battle for 8th spot right now, him and Lisby. We talk about Lisby a lot in that 44 car. He seems to always be up towards the front at some part of the race, and he's been unlucky getting together with other people. So it'd be nice to see him just have a nice clean run and not get collected in somebody else's problem.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, these guys will have the opportunity tonight to run a clean race and really put all their focus into just racing the track and not necessarily racing each other. You see the 86 Hunter Bogdan letting some guys by there, so that puts Michael Deitch into 7th.
Yeah, watch out there. Yeah, that was a little iffy there. The 57, I think, got a little loose in that corner. These guys are battling a little bit too hard. This is not a play. It's way too early to start coming down on guys like that and blocking and things like that. There's no need for it at this point. Yeah, I get it. You're fighting for stage points. It's not that important. Stage points mean nothing if you don't finish a race.
Exactly.
The race points are so much more. Every position matters. I get that, but No need to start wrecking this early in the race. Not even halfway through yet.
Yeah, and I
But
will
I
say
think-
this track, going side by side through 1 and 2 at this track is one of the more difficult things to do in this car, or just any oval car, just because it seems like there's just no space, because half the track is basically the apron, and then the only racing surface left is you have to position yourself to exit too, so you don't hit the wall. So
Going side by side here is like dating one of your wife's friends. It's just never gonna work.
No.
back up to the front, we actually see Caleb Sheets pass Carlisle at one point. I'll see if I can go back and find that, but Sheets driving up to the back of Vasquez, down about 0.3 seconds now behind Vasquez, and Carlisle dropped off about 2.5 seconds. Not sure what happened there.
I had mentioned a little while ago that Sheets was he was 1.7 seconds behind, and all of a sudden he caught up, and that's what happened right there. Trouble in front.
Yeah, looks like there's some lap car drama.
Yeah,
Carlisle
man.
had to
You know
drop
what?
down. Sheets moved ahead, and Vasquez got slowed down a bit too. So
Yeah,
ooh.
perfect timing for Sheets to just be able to get away from that, and he's out in second spot now, trying to chase down Vasquez, who's right up to the rear of Vasquez.
Yep, coming to the line,
No.
lap 40 of 45 in this first stage. Vasquez is never an easy pass, so Sheets needs to make the most of these last 5 laps if he wants to get a stage win.
Yeah, again, I don't think it's worth it. You know, the 22 is very fast here, and he's going to end up wrecking each other. Just back off, let him make a mistake. It's not worth fighting over right now. You still have over 100 laps to go. Vasquez is a tough customer here. He's a tough customer anywhere, but I mean, this is a track that he likes, so I think Sheets
he's a little low through 1. He's not going to have the runoff. I have to throw another block here. He's blocking down the back stretch. Sheets able to...
there it is. Sheets is going to be able to get out front. And Sheets is flying. He did it, and he's going to get those extra points for that stage, but
yeah.
I think he might have a little chip on his shoulder from last night. Vasquez is already locked in. He has a win already this season. And I think he realized that, it just ain't worth it, and just kind of backed off and let Sheets by, so.
Yeah, looking at Nick's car, it looks like he might have a Darlington stripe on that right side. Don't know if that's affecting his ride at all, because he was quite he was faster than most of the field for most of the stage there, and he slowed down just a bit, allowing Sheets to come back and pass him on the backstretch there. But about 2 laps left in this first stage. We'll throw out the caution, and we'll get him re-racked. And it seems like there's 3 cars down a lap. Jim Mott being the first car that's down a lap currently, so he should be able to get a wave around and get back onto the lead lap.
Now, I'm wondering if Vasquez just realized, Sheets was right up there next to him, right up beside him and behind him, getting real close, kind of starting to beat and bang a little bit. And I wonder if Vasquez may have we saw him wiggle a couple of times. Maybe he's just burnt up his tires from that and backed off, knowing that there's plenty of room between him and Johnson, who's past Carlisle. So Carlisle has fallen back 3 spots now. He's back in 4th. Johnson in that 45, he's moving up, and he's about 3 seconds behind the leader and about a little less than a second behind Vasquez. So we'll see if he can catch Vasquez.
Yeah, I think they're throwing the flag. They cautioned this time by, so most of the
he's trying to.
Yes.
Most of the standings should be the same. Coming back through the field here, we have Corey Mott in 48 of who's that?
I gotta wait till Bogdan comes back around.
I think that
Zach,
was Lisby that just passed. Yeah.
48 Tyler Krozak. So
And there's the stage.
yeah, and actually Tyler Krozak just went down a lap, so you will get the wave around. But as for the winner of the stage, Caleb Sheets comes up, takes the win of the stage away from Vasquez there with about 3 laps remaining in the stage. So definitely waited till the last minute to get the pass done, but nonetheless able to capture the first stage win there. Second place Nick Vasquez, and then third behind them Johnson, able to steal it away from Carlisle. Yeah, Carlisle kind of dropped off there at the end after they had that checkup with the traffic. I don't know if he just kind of got spooked a little bit, decided to lay low for a little bit just so he didn't get any sort of damage or what. But I mean, also could be just running that high line consistently really just wears down on those tires over time. So
You know, he may have made a little contact that we didn't see. We never know. It's Darlington. Everybody's making contact with something here. That outside wall takes a beating and banging every single race. And I remember back in the day when there wasn't any safer barrier, just like Indy. It was just all big cement walls that these guys would go around and hit, and did a lot more damage than those safer barriers. Not to mention that the safety equipment they had back there consisted of a watermelon as a helmet and an elastic band for a seatbelt.
Yeah, there wasn't
That
really
was
much safety back in the day.
That was when men were men and moonshine was expensive.
Well, then again, the cars weren't fast enough back in the day when they were at this track that they were running where they are now. Back then, they used to be down there on that yellow line running.
there was some like in the 70s. I mean, those cars were
They were
fast.
ripping around here.
Yeah, yeah, those cars they just had giant motors in them and just flew.
It's amazing that those guys even survived some of the wrecks they had.
Yeah.
I mean, they had the roll cages, but certainly not the technology and the safety equipment, especially the seats and the helmets alone. No neck restraints. I mean,
We had some people.
it was scary.
I mean, some guys they drove out of the track, right? They flipped over the outside wall.
Yep.
That's happened in a number of different places. And let's see who's out of the pits right now.
Yeah, so exiting the pits, looks like Vasquez actually will be coming out P1 there. Don't know if
Johnson, him and Johnson got by sheets, yeah.
don't know if Caleb just had a bad pit stop.
Or did he pick the high line?
Oh yeah, it might just be
Behind
Sheets
that?
yeah, that's what's going on here. So Sheets picked the high line behind Vasquez. So
Yeah, not a bad maneuver.
no, yeah, going into one, honestly, being on the high side, you can kind of dictate how the corner is going to go a little bit better than being on the inside. But pace car is off again. We're about to start stage 2 here at Darlington. Nick Vasquez in command of the field into the restart zone, and we see him off. Caleb Sheets actually getting a great jump there. He should be clear of Johnson entering one.
Yeah, he was. He kind of gave Vasquez a little chowder on the back of the car and get him moving. And, you know, that's what you have to do. Get him out there. And I like this side of Sheets, a little bit of this aggression. Last night, maybe a little bit too much aggression, but definitely tonight.
Too much aggression.
Yeah, from a lot of people. But I like what he just did right there. So we're going to see him in victory lane. There's no doubt about it. By the end of the year, with no doubt about it, we're going to see him in victory lane.
Yeah, I mean, last night I think we were expecting it for 90% of the race. So
Yep.
obviously very different track, but he definitely just has the pace to be up front and win any of these races. So only a matter of time for him.
Excited to see him next week at Bristol.
Yep.
Right now, though, Vasquez is kind of stretching out to about a half a second lead. He's not really looking to check out or anything. He just wants that clean air, and you saw Mott, yeah.
Noah Hunt
and another car behind him.
Up into the wall.
It just sucks you right in. These walls just suck you right in. You see cars there side by side, and that never works. And you see him take that little Darlington wiggle coming off the corner from being too wide. See how close they get to that wall. Oh, that's a little bit too close.
Yeah, there's definitely diminishing returns through 1 and 2. I mean, yes, getting up near the wall is giving you the most space to cut down, but not worth the risk to just be way up there next to the wall, in my opinion. But
hey, if you're comfortable with it, it's that's up to you. But I don't have what it takes to run up there, and if I even get close to that wall like that, it's because I'm losing control of the car. So yeah, I prefer to be down, at least a car length and a half right in the middle of that black stripe, and I'd rather be slower than in the wall.
Yeah, I will say a tip that someone told me, I forget who told me this, but when you're running the wall, if you look like way out in front of you, like if your entry, you look like way out to where it said Darlington there, mid-corner, then you just keep your eyes like pretty far out. Somehow your mind and your body like figure out how to stay off the wall a lot better than if you're just looking right at the end of your hood. So that's a tip someone passed along to me. It actually helps a lot if I'm trying to run the high side.
You said mind and body, and I lost both of those years ago, so that just doesn't fly for me. But right now, you see Corey Mott right now in a little bit of battle between Sheets and Carlisle. No, that's not Carlisle, is it? That's
no.
Johnson. Excuse me.
Yeah, Carlisle is behind him. 77, Johnson, the 45. So.
Yeah. And Vasquez loves watching these guys kind of get closer together because he's sneaking away a little bit. His lead now is just barely over a second, but he's out there in that clean air. And you see Mott going high. I don't think he's trying to pass Sheets. I think that's just where Mott's car is handling better.
Well, if you're running just straight high off of 2 and 4, you'll get that run down the straightaways.
Yeah.
But you also run that risk of getting into the wall on corner exit also.
Which we just saw. Right now, the battle in the back between Jim Mott, Papa Mott, and Mr. Ledger. This is they're racing for
Lucky Dog.
The waiver on the Lucky Dog right now. So right now it looks like Mr. Ledger's just kind of. I think if this was a normal night, we would have a lot more cautions, and he'd get right back up there. But doesn't seem to be the issue right now.
Sorry, guys, my live timing kind of just had a little bit of a disconnect, but it seems like we're okay again, right?
Yeah. All right. Who's that in that blue car?
This Tyler Krozak, 48, and then 43 is Josh Stoltz in the blue car.
Josh Stoltz, he just had a moment. He got into the wall and then got way loose coming off the corner, and he has had a tough night right from the beginning. The fact that Stoltz is even out there running after what happened to him on the beginning of the race.
Yeah, I definitely would have just would have probably just turned the computer off and left for the evening if something like that happened.
Yeah, well, that's what I had to do. I had no choice when it happened to me, but hey,
I
things
know
happen. What can you
one
do?
time when I was restarting a race, we were on old tires and I just spun and hit the inside wall. Kind of just left without talking to anyone, without saying anything. Kind of just closed iRacing and went into the other room. Didn't want to. Oh, my hard in the wall there.
Whoa!
Really hard. That was a tough hit for him there.
Yeah, and he's going to lose 2
He's still
spots, and he's
up
going to
into the
bang the
wall.
wall a 3rd time. Man. Yeah, you know, that's what happened. You get in that wall once, and it's kind of hard to get that groove back a little bit.
See
And he
77
landed
trying
pretty
to
good
exit.
right there. And yeah, right now he's already up in the gray and move. Yeah, well, you know what? He hit it sideways, so I think that's just going to slow him down a little bit. He'll get right back up there. I don't think he hurt the car at all. But that 22 car Vasquez, he's out front in that nice clean air, and he is loving it. And he's over 1.1 second lead out front. Not bad, just comfortable enough.
Yeah, but remember
Sheets
what
is
happened last time at the end of the run, where before the stage came out,
Yep.
she's ran him
Yep.
down.
He did, and then you know what? As we start seeing that, she is starting to close the gap just a little bit. So, you know, we still have
We have a
50 laps
caution.
to go. We have a caution. Oh, Corey Mott.
Yeah, I saw Mott get into the wall again, and I don't know if the guy behind him just couldn't check up in time. We'll take a look.
Man,
See Mott exiting 3 and 4 here, 48. Just gets into
Mott
his right rear there.
Yeah, it looked like Mott might have come up on him, or did the 48 come down? I'm not sure. I think Mott started losing his car a little bit.
On board with the Prozac
Tyler's
here.
there. Yeah, no, the 77 just came right up into Crosscheck. Yeah. I think he started losing his tires and just tried to keep it off of him and let's see.
Oh yeah, let's go on board with the Mott through that.
Yeah, I don't know if he thought he was clear or not. I mean, he still was pretty side by side with him. I think Mott had just collected his car and just they were too close. It might have net coded. You know, that's one thing we didn't think of. Did they net code?
I went back and watched it. They had a good 4, 5, 6 inches between them. Then they just got sucked into each other after the net code.
Tough break for both of them.
Well, that sucks.
Could have been worse. He could have called them up into the booth.
Those always are the most awkward wrecks. I mean, that was netcode, but you know those wrecks where like you spin someone just enough for them to kind of like face you and you just kind of go sliding down the wall together, like staring at each other. You're like, oh, sorry.
Oh man. Well, I know it's hard to believe with my accent, but as you know, I'm from the Boston area, and normally when something like that happens, you double-handedly would tell them that they're number one. So there's been a few times where, you know, I've had an incident and I go to let the car that I'm racing know that he's number one and hit my screen instead by accident. Yeah. Sometimes you get into it that much, so.
Have you tried VR, Bill?
Yes, I have, and I tried it in the old series. We were racing Gen 6 at Dover,
Uh-huh.
and it was the first time I tried it. Lap 1, somebody spun. I got hit from the side. My car turned and immediately started barrel rolling down the front straight.
Oh, God.
And
Did you throw up?
yes, I did. The sickness, I've never had motion sickness
Oh,
hit that
man.
fast in my entire life. Like, I mean, it was almost immediate.
Eesh.
So, yeah. So I've put away the VR since then. And
You can get
yeah,
those
never.
bags that they have on the airplane.
Yeah, yeah. So Vasquez with a great jump right there. Don't know if Sheets is going to be able to clear Johnson on this one. He's
Yep.
going to be able to. And
Yeah.
lucky for him. And you know what? Johnson clears Carlisle.
Yeah, definitely need to be on the same page as your competitors there when you're entering one here. Just so, especially, you know, not even finishing stage 2, about halfway through stage 2. Just want to get lined up and start putting down those laps. But yeah, Vasquez always off to a great start on those restarts there. But Caleb Sheets about half a second behind him. So net, he gained about 2/10 on Nick after the restart. Though they are on fresh tires now, and Sheets hard into the wall there. Hopefully his car is still driving okay, but that was a pretty tough hit. We'll go on board with him just for a second. Caution's out again, actually.
Oh, in the back.
Take a look. I think Jonathan Ledger might have had an incident here.
Well, the one car is very slow.
Oh, I had it in half speed. Sorry.
No, the one car was.
Oh.
Ooh. The 28 car drift up, or did they just come down together? I couldn't tell.
Seems like maybe Ledger
28 drifted up.
Yeah.
The 28 moved up?
Yeah,
Yep.
just on corner exit, car just drifted up into the outside vehicle there and got him loose.
And who was in the outside vehicle? I couldn't quite see who it was.
Let's see, so
Oh,
it's Bogdan.
Oh,
It was Bogdan and Ledger that got into it.
Don't know. Bogdan looks like he should be okay. Just took a little bit of a smack on the right rear there.
he hasn't had good luck tonight either.
But I am seeing Joe Gibbons might have wrecked under caution here. Let's see.
He got into the wall behind him and broke his right front, it looks like.
Oh. This was... Oh, okay. I see what you mean. All right.
But he was right behind him when it happened, so.
Gotcha.
Looked like he hit the wall there. And hit the wall twice.
So,
Well,
with that said, it looks like we have 11 drivers left now on the lead lap. So definitely dwindling numbers here.
right now we've got, whether it's fast or slow motion, this is pretty much how they were running. Right there, nose to tail, everybody trying to drift in, except there's a little other car out front. So I said at the beginning of this race that, you know, Sheet should just get behind Vasquez and just kind of walk away together with this thing. And it seems like that's what's kind of happening. He's been staying behind Vasquez the whole time. We know he can race Vasquez because he beat him for the stage win.
Yep.
So, you know, maybe that's what they need to do.
I think Vasquez has the edge on starts and restarts. You saw Sheets kind of get up into the wall, pushing really hard. Hopefully he kind of figured out where the limit is on those new tires, because A lot of times, Darlington will be green the entire time until the very end of the race, and then you have those guys try to do the 2-tire strategies and different things like that. But being fast on the very short runs here is really important to come home with a win. But pace car is off. Vasquez about to restart the field again here. Good jump by him. Cheats doing well to time that well, so he stays pretty tight behind him. He's actually going to clear the 45.
Gotta clear it.
To the bottom. So cars getting lined up. Back to Stoltz, who's side by side with Deitch, still kind of floating back. Keeps it out of the wall. The cars start to fan down. Carlisle looking underneath Zach Johnson here. Rolling on the bottom side. Not exactly where he's comfortable, though he can still get it done because it's Stephen Carlisle side by side with the 45 coming through turns 1 and 2. He's going to be able to clear up and get the positioning to come out of 2 and take off to battle Sheets now. Towards the back a little bit, we have Corey Mott working on Deitch and Stoltz. Stoltz looking underneath, 3 wide through turns 3 and 4. Mott floating up in the Deitch just a bit, able to clear him now. Noah Hunt is now under Deitch, trying to get the pass done as well. I think Deitch kind of just got the bad end of the stick there, getting slowed up. His momentum stalled by Mott and Stoltz.
It doesn't take much to get the car in front of you loose, especially when you're running up close to that wall and side by side like that. They're kind of battling pretty hard, so that's what will bring a caution out. Guys just touch each other like that, you get loose, next thing you know you crash. But I'm gonna tell you this. I keep looking at that 26 car Sheets, and I'm like, something's off about that car. Don't know what it is. Mr. Sheets, you need to change those numbers. Get a different style, get a different font. Change those numbers. I'm sorry, it's been bugging me. I'm like, hey, I don't know what HD stands for, but my doctor says I got 80 of them. So I just, you know what? I got to talk to him, man. We got to get him. He needs to jump into a chat room, or not chat room, but he needs to get into a log so we can pull him up when we want to talk to him. Unless he doesn't like us. Maybe he doesn't like us. Who knows? But we're gonna have to get some room for him to jump into so we can pull him up here in the booth. Cross-checking. Him and Johnson are battling side by side, and they're swapping positions.
You see them battling back there behind Carlisle. Krozak's going to get the pass down in the 45. And we'll clear him coming down the backstretch. Mott saving the car down the track. I think he was just a little bit scared of the wall. Really pulled that wheel hard to the left. Might have got the car a little bit upset, but able to keep it rolling here. He's currently 7th position behind Stoltz.
I'm sitting here thinking, once we go back to the season on Tuesday nights, what are we going to do on Monday nights?
I don't know. I might golf.
Maybe I'll talk to Corey Mott, and I've always wanted to do a short track league, so maybe I'll talk to him and we'll come up with something. I don't know. I kind of would like that. What do you think?
Yeah, potentially.
Nice.
Maybe we can do
nice little short track.
Modified on asphalt.
Yeah, we can do modified late model stocks. We can, switch it up. We can have street stocks in the day.
Stocks.
The first lap, the first race, and then a modified race. You can do a whole entire mini stock race, and we could switch it up. That'd be kind of fun. Pick a track, swap it up a little bit. One car, from the Northeast, the Oswego Speedway, the Super Modifieds, the home of the Super Modifieds, and they are so incredibly fast there. It's like watching the Indy cars. And I actually did a race the other day in the Formula cars, and man, it was the closest thing to doing it in the Super Modified. It was so cool. So I like
have
strange things
heard-
like that.
I have heard that they might possibly be doing the super modifies for iRacing. I'm not sure yet though. But since we got Oswego on iRacing, it's a good possibility that they could be bringing them in.
Well, I will tell you this. I have a few friends of mine that race in the New England Midget Association, NEMA, and I do know that they have scanned cars. So I think
I'll give it
possibly.
about a year or two.
Yeah. So maybe it is possible that they will do something with it. And from what I was told, one of the days that they scanned the cars was at Waterford Speed Bowl, and they also had, and that's in Connecticut, and they had also scanned a street stock, a Monte Carlo street stock at another track. So, we saw the new street stocks come out with the Monte Carlo and then the Thunderbird. So who knows? Who knows? I personally would like to see pro late models take the super late model, tone it down a bit, or come up with the ACT tour. We talked about that last night, but who knows? I'm from the Northeast. What do I know? I know good seafood and bad weather. That's that's all I know. But right now we're closing in lap 41, 45 for the stage. So we're closing in, and Sheets is right on the back bumper of Vasquez, and I think Sheets is thinking about going for those extra points again.
Yeah, closing in on the end of the stage, and Sheets on cue, closing in on Vasquez here. Last stage we saw him pass him with about 3 laps left. He's not as tight to him as he was in the first stage, but definitely has closed some distance on the 22 car here.
Yeah, and he doesn't even have to pass Vasquez. If he even just gets to Vasquez, it's going to mess with his head a little bit. Like, man, this guy's fast. And he's going to be watching that mirror a lot more than he's going to be watching the track. And that's what Sheets wants. Sheets wants to somehow rattle Vasquez in that 22. Problem is, that might happen at any other track, but he's just very focused at this track. So you never know. I've seen stranger things happen.
By the way, his fucking Nick's car setup is more for short run speed than long run, and then Sheets is more long run than short run.
Yep.
Yeah, and Vasquez has to be thinking about that third stage. Obviously, winner of that wins the race. Sheets showing a lot of speed at the end of stages here, so look for him to continue to push hard as we I imagine we'll probably go green for most of the third and last stage.
The thing about Sheets is he's been fast so many times. He just has had the curse. It's me. I'm telling you, we saw this before.
Oh,
The
we saw it before.
curse.
Oh, man, he just gave him the chowder right there. Got all over the back bumper, and Vasquez takes off. But wow, Sheets got to him, and man, he kind of smoked him right there. I think Sheets trying to be the new Intimidator, or
I mean,
we talked
honestly,
about it earlier.
It looked like Sheets, he about nailed that corner perfectly, and Vasquez kind of
Flipped
waffled
up.
through there a little bit. Yeah, he had to save the car, so just a combination of the two caused Sheets to get into the back of him there. But
Right. Take it back, and he just passed, but the caution just came out.
Yep, stage caution's out now, so. Yep, so Vasquez will take the win for stage 2. Sheets will be finishing second position. Then Carlisle.
And you know what? Last night, the 26 car had 2 stage wins. Tonight, he's had a stage win, and a second place finish in the stage. So, points wise, he's collected them all in. He's serious about the championship. There's no doubt about that. All he needs is that he just needs the luck to go his way one night where he can get that win. I think it's the numbers. See what I mean by the numbers? Is it me? Am I just being neurotic?
What do you? I see the 26.
I don't know. I don't like the looks of the numbers. He needs a different font on the numbers.
Oh,
That's what I think.
Yeah. I think yeah, that's just the iRacing default number font.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Update on track temp is down to 102 degrees. So
Ooh,
the track is
hey.
cooling off.
Yep. Cooling off means a little bit more grip, a little bit faster.
And it looks like Sheets
As
rolled
long
through
as it
his
keeps
stall
dropping.
a tiny bit, so he's actually going to come out behind Carlisle and several others there.
Yeah, it's okay. He's got another fast car, so he can get by him. It is the 26. Those are the defaults. Those are the default numbers. We gotta. Somebody out there's got the Paint King. Do us a favor. Do me a favor. Oh man, that's what it is. The bad luck default numbers. It's not the announcer's curse. It's the default number curse. Maybe my wife is right. I am a pain in the butt. That can't be.
No.
Never. And looked like everybody got the memo on the juice cone. Now, look at this setup for the end of the race. Vasquez, Carlisle, and Krosick. So that's your top three, and each one of them have a bone to pick with iRacing. They all want a race. They all need a race win bad, and they all want it. Now, usually the last stage is about 100 laps. So right now we're at lap 94. We're only running 147. So we only have about 50 laps, a little over 50 laps to get this thing settled.
There's going to be at least one pit stop because your tires can't make it all 54 laps.
No way. So could we see a green flag run? I think it's very possible that we see green flag stops here. Time will tell. Vasquez once again gets a great jump.
I'm gonna say, depending on the amount of cautions we get too, could turn into a fuel mileage race, but
yeah,
we'll see. Two cars hard into the wall in the back, Ledger and the 44 car of Ed Lisby smacking the outside wall there.
I just saw something out of that 81 car. Well, they do have new tires too. I think the 81 car can drive high and low at this point. Well, anybody can with new tires, but he drove right underneath the 45 of Johnson to take over second place, and now we're going to see what he can do at Vasquez. Sheets is going to start working his way up there. Stoltz is behind him. Mott, Hunt, Deitch, and Lisby, your top 10. Bit of a gap there. These guys towards the middle running, two rows running side by side never is a good thing here as well. That breeds a caution. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, it looked like
so many of these
was going to try to put a pass on there, kept switching off of him. But for now, he's still just riding behind Zach Johnson.
That 48 car is looking pretty clean right now. No, he's another driver we always mention his name, and we got to come up with a nickname for him, because my New England accent just can't. I look at that name and the spelling of it, and being from New England, I have a seizure and just can't. It doesn't work with my accent. So, like, we gotta come up with a nickname for that 48 driver. Oh, caution comes out again.
Yep, caution is out. Looks like back of the field here. See a 35 of Noah Hunt might have been involved with this one.
With Corey Mott side by side.
Hmm.
And oh, it looks like the 43 car. I think maybe the 35 car had to back off a little bit, and the 43 car just didn't see it.
Yeah, that's the way it's looking. For my end, at least.
Yeah, because the 43 car, yeah, he just it looks like the 35 car has to back off just a little bit. He just didn't get going coming off the corner. By the time that he realized the Hunt wasn't moving, it was too late. And there's gonna be some fireworks. You know, I kept joking about them, going for a beef. When we had a couple of guys angry last night, we're gonna have a couple angry again tonight. I might just get a beef. Martin Lisby coming down pit road one more time.
Yeah, we saw Lisby hard into the wall on that restart there, as well as Ledger. Noah Hunt looked like he was able to keep it out of the wall for the most part, but still coming down just to be sure that car is in tip-top shape. But Nick Vasquez now pulled back to the rest of the field again. And, you guys mentioned that his car is mostly set up for short run speed, so this is probably not the best situation for him. But we'll just have to see how well he can keep it up. Sheets moving up the 5th spot. Go ahead, Bill.
This is the longest stage that we're going to have tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And right now we have about, by the time we go green, we're going to have close to, 45 laps. So
yeah,
you're looking at, you're going to want to at least get close to lap. It's a tough call for tires because if you wait too long, you're screwed. But the only good thing is everybody, if you come in to take tires, everybody's going to come in with the leader to take tires. So that's one good thing that Vasquez has. He might get a couple of guys that stay out, but you don't want to wait too long. So, I don't know, what lap do you guys see these guys coming in?
I
I mean,
hard to say because I want to say at least lap 20, but that doesn't seem like that long.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to say because it's really, for me, what it comes down to at this point is fuel mileage. Because if they get a couple more cautions, they might be able to make it on fuel. And if the race goes green, obviously just saving and not pushing the car as hard and driving to the end of it if you can without having to make a stop is the fastest way to end this thing. But we'll just have to wait and see if any of the guys can make it. But I mean, yeah, I honestly at this point I think these guys are just kind of driving until they have to come in for fuel potentially. If they start to really feel the car fall off and they're forced to come down, then we might see them come in around 125, 130. But that with only like 17 laps left, it's pretty tight. So we'll just have to wait and see what the call is there.
Yeah, it's kind of a. Yeah, what do you do? Yeah, it's going to be a close call, but it looks like Vasquez is not going to have a problem with running way away. Carlisle back on that high side, hoping to get around. He's going to be able to clear him, and he just barely makes by.
Yeah, honestly, the more I think of it, actually we have Stoltz and looks like Stoltz and the 48 Kralzak are side by side through 1 and 2 here. I have to get it sorted out. It looks like Stoltz gives up the spot to Kralzak, slides in behind him, behind Stoltz there. I was gonna say, I think the time to pit honestly was that last caution. I mean, if you pit there, take full fuel and tires, you can drive to the end of this thing, unless these guys are already good on fuel. So
Yeah, but you also got to factor in how long are their tires going to last.
yeah, I mean, most of the guys have been running 45 laps for the stage. So, yeah, they must be kind of a tight fuel window here. So we'll just have to see how this plays out. Carlisle running the fastest lap that time by about 2/10. So putting down some great lap times here.
Oh, some good news today out of Major League Baseball. And I'm sure a lot of you guys don't even remember this. Pete Rose was just reinstated by Major League Baseball.
Oh,
Now,
that's
Pete
great.
Rose was one of the greatest baseball players. Got caught betting, but he never threw a game. I think they made a big deal out of it because somebody didn't like him. And he should have been reinstated years ago. He never did. Well, unfortunately, he passed away. But now that he's reinstated, he better get into the Hall of Fame. And they should have done it when he was alive. And it's sad to see that he has passed, but very good to see that. Very happy to see that.
So let me. He betted on games, but he never threw games, right?
Correct.
Yeah, he bet on other games.
Gotcha.
And I think they really made like a big deal out of what
Made
it
an
really
example
was.
out of him when it was kind of like, to me, I mean, if you're betting on other games, it's not that big of a deal. But
Yeah. Well, I mean, you see it all the time now, and you see a lot worse than that with some of these players. But I'm just glad to see that happen.
And along with Pete Rose being taken off the ban list, Shoeless Joe Jackson was on that list also.
Yep. These guys are still, you know what?
did Barry Bonds get kicked
Vasquez
out of the Hall of
is.
Fame?
Nope.
No.
Because I know he was. I mean, that was like right in the middle of the steroid era, right?
Oh, there's no
It was more towards the end of it.
steroids.
Towards the end of it.
Yeah.
There's no steroids in base. I can't believe you just said that.
I mean, I'm all for it. I think they should just let him do whatever. Makes it more exciting.
Yeah, no more restrictor plates.
Yep. Hit a ball 600
Oh,
feet.
man.
I mean, with the way workout regimens are nowadays for baseball, it wouldn't be a surprise if no one's using roids anymore.
Yeah.
I just hopped on ESPN to see who was all on that ban list, and then apparently 16, or Manfred's ruling was removed a total of 16 deceased players and 1 deceased owner from the ban list.
You see Carlisle dive to the bottom there to save the car. Don't know exactly what happened there, but he's going to fall back several spots. And Krozak and 45 with Zach Johnson into each other. 45 a little bit loose above Krozak there, but able to make the pass. Always just awkward time to pass somebody here. It's just really tough to do it completely cleanly, but all these guys know that. So hopefully they're not getting too bent out of shape about it. But currently Vasquez in the lead by about a second and a half, followed by Sheets and then 48 car of Krozak.
Sheets again, just kind of hanging out there, just like he has every stage so far.
Trying to see what happened to Carlisle here. Looks like he just cut down a little bit. Did you get loose out of 2? Let's see.
Certainly did.
Yeah, looks like he just lost it for a second. Had to save the car
Yeah,
down
he
the
did.
track.
Man. You know that's that's gonna make you nervous, and you know it screws you up for a lap or two, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, just trying to get back into that good rhythm. I know when I first started sim racing, I mean, and I still do it time to time, but just compounding mistakes is something that happens a lot. You make one issue or one mistake and then start to overthink things and then just keep screwing stuff up, but you got to be able to put stuff behind you and just think about moving forward again. But Carlisle's scooting back to 5th spot now, and lap 116 of 147. So if we do start to see you guys come down, it'll probably be in about 10 to 15 laps, I'd say, but it'll be interesting to see exactly what sort of strategies we see, because I'm not 100% sure if you guys can make it on fuel. So
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't see it. I just don't see it.
let's see, last
You
pitted lap
have to
was
pit,
92,
yeah.
so it's a 55
there's no
lap
way you can do
fuel
that,
run.
yeah.
I mean, it's tough because we had those cautions.
Yeah, I think you definitely want to have a caution, and you definitely need to have something left for a green-white checkered. If we escape here without a green-white checkered, that'll be disappointing. Let us know in the comments. Do we want a green-white checkered? Yes. I can tell there's a lot of race car drives on the track right now screaming at me.
What year did they add the green white checkered rule?
I don't even remember. It was, yeah.
I think it was 2016.
2016. And they didn't have any sort of overtime before that?
Nope.
No.
That was the good old days. They didn't have cautions for commercials either. Not that I'm insinuating they do that. They would never do that, would they?
No.
Yeah,
I mean, they have like that side-by-side thing they do now.
Out front, Vasquez is really starting to move away as much as he can, and he's definitely liking that clean air out front.
Yep, he actually, Cheats actually ran about 2/10 faster than him that time by, so as we've seen in the other stages, as the laps take off here, Cheats starts to reel in the 22 car here, so you'd think maybe Vasquez, I mean, I really don't know the tire situation slash fuel situation that these guys are in, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, and if you do a green flag stop, are you just going to do a splash and go? Because there's really not enough laps here for it to make sense to get a new set.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
If you're gonna do a
I don't
splash and
know.
go, you might as well change your right sides.
Right, yeah, just do
At
rice.
least,
And I just looked up when they implemented the green white checkered rule. It was actually started back in 1995 when the trucks first were coming around.
oh, they did it with the trucks?
Yeah, it was first started with the trucks in '95. I was only 5 years old at the time, so
They'll let it slide.
You were 5
Then-
years old when?
In '95.
I wasn't even born yet.
Oh,
Then it was adopted by the Three National Series, Cups, Xfinity, and Truck in 2004. Then it was refined in 2010. Then it was refined again in 2015. Then refined again in 2016. Then refined again in 2017. So,
Sorry to do that, Bill.
yeah,
sorry, Bill.
I graduated in '90, so
Oh, man.
I was born in '90.
yeah. Ugh.
I was born in '97. I mean,
Oh boy.
that's not as bad. Like, you hear people born in 2000s. That's just crazy, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I wish I lived close on the Bellinger who could pass me one of those bears out his house because
Ooh,
I
Nick
knew when
loose.
Vasquez loses control, able to hold on to it, but that's gonna allow Sheets to break away with 21 to go. Wow.
Yeah, you just got loose
Now,
down the track, exiting 4 here. Very easy to
wow.
do. Does a good job saving it though.
He does, but if this goes green, Mr. Sheets was just handed his ticket
Yeah,
to
I
the
mean,
afterlife.
I know Sheets, he was doing a good job putting the pressure on. He was consistently running faster laps in the 22 car for the past 3 laps or so. So I'm sure Nick might have seen that and tried to push a
So
little
can
bit
he-
harder, causing him to get loose there. But unforced error by the 22, allowing Sheets to slide up the first spot now.
And Sheets has about just below a second and a half to mess with. Now, when was the last time Sheets pitted? Was it with everybody else on lap 96,
On 92,
97?
92, lap 92.
So during the state break.
Yeah, so if this goes green, I think if there's a yellow flag, wow, I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be a tough call.
And
I
we
think.
might get a yellow flag right here. The 48 of Kreischick side by side with Johnson. They're doing everything they can to stay off each other, but they are real close. And we've seen netcode affect Corey Mott's life tonight. So let's see if they guys can handle it. Oh, man, they touched. Oh, the 45 just touches the 48 and sends him up into the wall. Totally not intentional. Johnson was just losing it a little bit
Not a
coming
lot
out
of
of the
space
corner,
there
but
on exit.
yeah, but that allows Carlisle to close the gap. I'm a little surprised that Carlisle, I don't know if he missed his setup or just had damage from early in the race, but you would thought Darlington was going to be, we even said it, we figured this was going to be his racetrack. And unfortunately, he's fallen back a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what the issue. We saw him drop down the track exiting turn 2 earlier, putting him back into 5th, and since then he's just not been able to get it back. You see 45 here. Look on the inside of Rozak though. He's not going to be able to reel him in time to get anything done. Though you see 48 get into the outside wall. That's going to stall his momentum out of the corner just a bit, but honestly, doing a good job keeping the pace up out of 2 after hitting the wall.
With 16 laps to go, the way these two guys are racing, I think definitely Carlisle has a chance to get by them both. But out front again, the 26 car of Sheets is pulled out to a 2+ second lead on Vasquez. So I think Vasquez's tires is just kind of giving up a little bit on him. But now Sheets is coming up on traffic. So hopefully he can get by him before the corner. He's going to go high, give him plenty of room. The one car, Mott bounces off the wall a little bit. Luckily for Sheets, he gets away, and now he's 2.5 seconds over Vasquez, and Vasquez is still going to fight that car to get by. So he did get by. So Well, that could have been a lot worse, but again, Vasquez having issues. He touches the wall. So
I think these guys
14 laps to go.
these guys had enough. They knew they had enough fuel during that last caution, so that's why they stayed out. But don't think we're going to see any pit stops here unless there's a caution.
Even with the caution, I don't know. I think it's all
Yeah, that's true.
man. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. So it all depends when it comes out. If it comes out right now with 10 to go when he goes green, yeah, it might be worth a pit stop, but I don't know. Even still, if everybody's still, oh wow, let's just hope it stays green. I know one guy who's hoping it is, and it does, and that's that 26 car of Sheets. 3-second lead now on Vasquez.
Yeah, there's only
He's
really
still-
one battle going on the track, and that's between Johnson, Project, and Carlisle. Everyone else is pretty well spaced out.
And where there's a battle on this track, there's usually going to be a caution. So that would spoil just about everybody's plans. And right now they're going for it. The 45 gets below the 48. Can Johnson get by him? He's credited so far with that lap. They go off in the corner, and yes, he's going to get it done nice and clean. 45 car gets by the 48. Now they're going to suck up, trying to get him loose, trying to pull a little bit of a crossover, but you can't do that because that's why right there it screws up your exit and you slam the wall. That's going to allow Carlisle to get by the 81 car, and now the 48 of Tyler Krosick falls back to 5th spot. Tough break for him, but still another great run. He's going to be moving up in the points each race. Each race we've had lately, he's had a pretty good finish. So, and you see the 81 car bouncing off the wall now. So they're not done passing each other yet. 10 laps to go this time by.
Yep, 10 laps
Vasquez
to go.
now 4.5 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, he's fading fast, so don't think Johnson will be able to catch him, but Sheets really just, at this point, just needs to keep the car alive and not hit the wall. And he should have his first win here if he keeps it up.
Yeah, well, it sounds like he's kind of on fuel saving mode. Really, I mean, he doesn't have to do anything but that, really, and he doesn't even really have to do that. But he's just taking it easy, saving his car. He's got a huge lead. He just does not want a caution flag to come out. Vasquez does. So doesn't Johnson and Carlisle. But so far, so good. I don't think anybody can really pit at this point. You have to stay out.
Yeah.
By the time we go green, it's going to be 4 laps with 3 laps to go. So no matter what happens, we're going to have a green-white checkered flag as far as this part goes. So, and I know that guy right there is swearing at me. Shut up! Stop talking about it! Well, this will learn you. Next race, you better be in a room somewhere where we can pull you up into the booth. Here's a battle that's starting to heat up a little bit. Krychek and Carlisle. The 48 car's able to move up. This is going to be another top 5 finish for him. Very consistent this year. Hunt in the 35 car, he's finally had a little bit of luck go his way. He's moved up into the 7th spot. Still in a battle with Lisby. Hunt and Lisby, these two are just like two siblings battling each other all night long.
Yeah, you see Krosek work underneath Carlisle again, trying to get that spot back from Carlisle. Looks like he's been able to clear him through 1 and 2 here.
He's gonna get it. A little bit of a bobble from the 81 car, kind of went up and brushed the wall, and that killed his momentum. And you know what? That's all it took, and Tyler gets another position back, so he's up in 4th spot now. Now, Bristol, it's going to be interesting to see a few of these drivers at Bristol. And, Tyler's going to be one of them. It's a rhythm track, and he does pretty well at those rhythm tracks. So it'll be interesting to watch him next week, excuse me. 3 laps to go. He is backing off. He's crossing the start-finish line, and he's rolling out of the throttle. So he's saving his car big time. And he's got a weekend in between him and Vasquez.
Yeah, I keep coming back to these
still
two,
trying to catch up to
Krozak and
35.
Carlisle. We've been battling for the past several laps here, but 2 to go that time by as Sheets crosses the start finish. Next time by, he'll take the white flag.
And he's just screaming, "Nobody get the caution out! Let me get the white flag!" I can hear him screaming. He's almost there. He's getting closer.
Yep,
There it is.
The white flag's out, so we're on the final lap here. This race is official. No green-white checker tonight. It's Caleb Sheets wrapping the outside, dropping it down to exit 2. And just a couple of corners left to nail, and he'll come home with his first win. Looked really convincing last night for most of the race. Had some bad luck there at the end of the race, but tonight Caleb Sheets gets what needs to be done, and finishes first place here at Darlington.
Yeah. There you go. The Rizmeister gets his first win, locked into the championship. So he gets locked into the championship. He won a stage tonight, won 2 stages last night, came in second in the other stage, and then he won 3 stages plus the race tonight. So, 2 stages tonight. So, another great points race for that 26 car, and I can't wait to talk to him. And we're gonna talk to him about the numbers on those cars. I gotta do it. I'm sorry, I can't take it. Great win for him. Sheets, Vasquez, Johnson, your top 3. Tyler again, man, just getting closer and closer. Another great finish, another top 5 finish, and then Carlisle, Hunt, Mott, Lisby, Stoltz, Deitch, Mott, Legger, Bogdan, Gibbon, Carter, Ballinger, and Taft. And, Taft, when he started this race, he was all over the place. So I think he probably got called in the pits for drinking or something.
I haven't had a drink all night. Come on now.
Yeah.
Don't be disrespecting me like that.
Well, this guy here is going to be having a cold one, I think. He parks the old Budweiser car at the start and finish line, and he's psyched right now. He's yelling and screaming.
Yeah, great job by Sheets tonight. Looks like in the Podium Finishers channel, we have our top 3 already lined up. So let's get Zach Johnson in the booth real quick. Mr. Johnson, you're in the booth. You got us?
Yeah.
Hey, so great drive tonight to get it done on podium. How did the car feel? And was the track changing at all for you as the race went on?
Yeah, I mean, it changed a little bit there towards the end of stage 2 and stage 3. Track temp cooled down. I think we finished at 100. Track temp started at like 118, so 18 degree
track temp is
swing.
100.
Yeah, 18 degree swing for the race. So it definitely got tighter. I just could never get the clean air I needed to. I felt like I had the short run speed and had the long run speed. I just didn't have that medium run speed, which is what the runs were tonight. So,
yep.
Back to the drawing board for setup wise when we come back here in August. So, but overall, P3 chewed a little bit down to that points lead. Carlisle's got on me. I think Nick jumped me for second. So we're still sitting pretty in points and looking forward to next week.
Cool. And how's the morale? Because last night felt like a little bit was a little bit low. Obviously Martinsville brings
Yeah.
out the worst in people. So was hoping for a good clean race tonight. I think for the most part, other than the outlap, which obviously wasn't intentional.
Yeah, that's a wheel disconnect.
It seemed like it was a pretty good
Unfortunate.
race for the most part, but everyone get along tonight. It seemed.
Yeah, I mean, I got doored a couple times for no reason.
Uh huh.
So I think you guys might
It
have
is
saw
Darlington.
me. You guys might have saw me repaying that back in that last run. But I mean, it's all fair game.
Yeah.
There's no hard feelings. It's just I race everyone pretty cleanly, and I don't appreciate being doored up into the track and into the wall,
Yep.
especially 2 nights in a row by the same person. So, but it is what it is. P3. Just yesterday was a low third, coming at looking like I was gonna finish third here, and then finished 11th. So,
Yeah.
but no, what do we got next week? Is it Bristol Dega?
Yep. Bristol and Talladega.
So those are two good tracks for the camp, and especially for me. So should have some good top 5 runs, and hopefully we can steal one or if not both of those.
All right, man. Cool.
Well,
Sorry, go ahead, Bill.
if you don't know, Zach, you will be competing against me at Dega.
I will be looking forward to it. I usually hang out up front, so if you want me to see you, you got to be up there.
Oh, yeah, I probably won't see it. I'll look for the back of your car.
But no, I'm looking forward to Bristol on Monday, and I've always ran really, really strong there. So I know Sheets won the last time we were at Bristol last season. He beat me and Corey out on a green white checkered. So we'll see what happens. I got to get into the lab a little bit and refresh the skills for Bristol, and
Sure.
it'll be fun.
All right, man. Any shout outs you want to give before you head out?
Yeah, thanks to you guys, the camp, the Palmetto boys, for hanging strong tonight and actually having some good results on the board. First, second, third, 6th and 7th. So, and then you guys broadcast and Ryan for race controlling.
Yeah, not
I
a
had a lot
problem.
of hard work to do tonight.
Yeah, not a lot except for accidentally throwing a caution on lap 1. But
Yeah.
we got.
I mean, people were able to get their stuff fixed after that.
That is true. That's what we kind of said after. It was like, okay, well, people who got damaged from a wheel disconnect were able to get their damage fixed, so it kind of worked out.
I wasn't gonna make it a speedy caution, but
all right, man. Well, you have a good rest of your evening, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem. That was Zach Johnson, driver of the 45 car. Kind of was able to keep it quiet, kind of keep it to himself most of the night, though he did say that he had a couple of issues. I'm trying to remember who it was with, but a couple of issues with a guy, kept dooring him, but ultimately able to get the pass done and end up on podium. But next up, we have Nick Vasquez, who was actually leading the race probably most of the night tonight.
Dominated the race. Yeah.
Yeah. Had the speed early, mid-run. Just had a little bit of fall off there at the end of the runs, allowing Sheets to reel him back in. But let's get him in the booth. Mr. Vasquez, in your booth, you got us?
I gotcha.
Hey, man. So you seemed like you were leading the race the entire night. Was really fast early, mid-run. Just in the later half of the run, the car seems to give out on you. How did that go? And was that kind of what you were experiencing out there?
Yeah, so we had a really good short run car. But yeah, like you were saying, on the long run, it really started to taper off, and it got pretty hard to handle. So short to medium run, I felt pretty confident running, and then it was just way too loose on the long run, and it was undrivable. And yeah, Sheets he got by us there. So unfortunate. I was hoping for a caution there to maybe get a green white checkered or something, and then we could do something with the short run car, get tires and whatnot. But other than that, good points day, so can't complain.
Yep. There you go. You're already locked into the championship, so I mean, it is a good points for you. And this time last year, you had a couple more wins. how are you feeling? Your confidence level? Are you as good as you were last year at this point, or how are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I think the stats are, proving themselves. I'm confident in myself as a driver. I mean, we've shown that we can go out there and dominate these races, and even though a couple of them have kind of slipped through our cracks, some of them, from my own doing, some of them from others, Corey. Other than that, though, I mean, the cars, every week they've been getting, fast, and I'm confident in myself to go out there and win.
Damn, Bill
That's what I was looking
asking the
for.
guy about his job security. That's pretty brutal
That
after coming
wasn't
second place,
no.
you know.
Wasn't asking about his job security. He'll never have a problem with job security. This guy could find a ride in a lawnmower convention. It's just that's the Nick Vasquez that I love. What I just brought out of him. I asked him that question, and he came back a little bit, and kind of gave a little cockiness, but yet the confidence, and kind of took a little shot. I love that about Nick Vasquez, and definitely one of the contenders for the championship.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll be honest with you, kid. Right now, I think this championship it's you definitely are one of the front runners. So keep up the good work.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we can keep a clean car and not get wrecked by the idiots on this track, then I think we can go out there and win the championship. But I'm really excited for next week. I think we should bring that up.
Mhm.
My bread and butter, Talladega.
There
So
you go.
I'm super excited for that. Bristol, I really couldn't care about. I'm more excited for Talladega though.
Yeah, and
Yeah, well,
Bill's
you
actually
did.
going to be out there too at Talladega, so.
Well, perfect. I'll give him the pushes.
Well, probably not. I'll probably be behind you. But good luck to you. We'll see you next week. And like I said, buddy, keep up the good work.
Thank you, and shout out to my fans, my mom, and everybody watching.
Our man, good job on the P2 tonight. You have a good rest of your night, and we'll see you next week.
All right, I'll see you. Thanks.
That was driver of the 22, Nick Vasquez, finishing P2 tonight. Really led most of the night, so I was kind of surprised to see him come home without the win, but just had that fall off a little bit too aggressive at the latter half of his run, and allowed Sheets to get back to him. That leaves our last man of the hour, Caleb Sheets, the guy who came home in first place tonight here at Darlington Raceway. We'll get him in the booth
It's
here.
Meister.
Mr. Sheets, you're in the chat or in your booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey man, so last night, obviously, I just had to bring it up. Kind of a low point for you, but to follow it up with the win tonight, is that, would you say that kind of has picked up spirits again, or how you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a complete low point. I led 171 laps. So I'd say if it had been a green flag final stage just like tonight, I think we may have had a similar result, but unfortunately that didn't happen. And then I think once I got loose the first time, the tires got hot and it just kept coming out from under me. But yeah, not how I wanted to end that race, but there were 23 cautions. So I think everybody had a low point, it seems like. But yeah, I had a very good car tonight.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like when I'm winning that much, when I sweep the first two stages and then get the result like you had, like to me that stings the most. But you're right, getting those stage wins yesterday, still a great points night for you at Martinsville. But moving on to tonight, you were kind of behind Vasquez for most of the runs, early runs, mid run. Did you know that you were going to reel him in? It was just a matter of time, or were you kind of surprised to see him fall off like he did?
Yeah, I noticed it in the first stage that by really taking care of the car off the turn, keeping it straight, not burning the rear tires, that I was able to catch him really fast and be able to get him. But no, I didn't expect him to fall 9 seconds behind me there in that final stage. He must have really used him at that stage, but I figured I would at least get to him on the long run, but passing him was going to be difficult.
Oh, man, see, that was the wrong answer, Caleb. What you should have said was, at the beginning of the broadcast, Bill the Masshole said, if I follow Nick Vasquez, he'll lead the way to victory. And that's what you did. That's what you should have given me that shout out.
If I'd heard you, maybe I would have. But thankfully, he kind of got loose off of 4 there, and it made my job pretty easy. I didn't have
Yeah.
to didn't have to work too hard for it.
Yeah, he can be a tough pass, so it was nice for him to let you by there. So looking ahead to next week, how do you feel about Bristol? How do you feel about Dega?
Yeah, I feel good. I felt like this stretch, Martinsville, Darlington, Bristol, was going to be a very good chance to get a lot of points, possibly a win. And then after that, we'll see. But yeah, these 3 tracks definitely favored me. So I'm been glad to be fast this week.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, any shout outs you want to give before you head out?
Just thanks to you all for broadcasting. You all do a really good job. And I'm glad we were able to keep it clean in that 3rd stage and didn't have the drama that we had last night.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I was getting ugly last night. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, great job tonight coming home P1.
Hang on. He's not escaping my wrath.
Okay.
I got a bone to pick with you. You got to do something about the numbers on your car. I understand it's the iRacing, but it's killing me. You got to...
He hates your paint.
you got to fix the numbers on your car. The paint's fine. It's just the numbers.
Oh, okay.
It's the iRacing stamp numbers. So you won the race. You know, you had a great night last night. You should have some checks coming in. So can you do that for me?
I'm not very well versed in the schemes and stuff like that, so I'd probably have to be shown how to do that.
Well, Paint King Jonathan Legger, if you're listening, help a brother out. But hey, man, good luck to you next week, and I'll be with you. I'll be behind you, probably at Dega, and we'll see you then.
Sounds good. Appreciate you all broadcasting.
Yep. No problem, man. You have a good one.
All right. You all too.
That was Caleb Sheets, driver of the 26 car, able to come home first place tonight. Had a great night at Martinsville last night until the very end. Just got caught up in a couple issues on the track, but tonight able to finish the job and come home P1. But as for our broadcast, that I don't know what happened to my I broke the camera. It's not working. But anyways, there it is. Okay, it's back.
Oh, there it is.
So as for the broadcast, that's all we have for you this week. Next week we'll have Bristol on Monday night, followed by Talladega, where our very own Bill Martin, or Bill the Masshole, will be participating as our on-track reporter. So we'll try to key into him when we can, but that'll be fun to watch. Brian Taft will probably be in the booth. Maybe we'll be in the booth with me.
Until I crash out of Dega.
On Tuesday. But thank you guys so much for coming out, supporting